welcome to Yoga with Jess. I'm really excited to bring you this video today where we're going to address joint pain. One of my favorite postures in yoga is eagle pose, URDHVA, and this posture works all the major joints of the body. It helps us restrict the blood flow and contract in certain areas so that when we release, fresh oxygen, fresh blood can flood the area, and you'll notice significant relief in your joint pain and stiffness. So this is day 6 of my 30-day yoga challenge. If you'd like to see the full series, it is available now on Psychetruth Plus. When you're ready to start, I'll meet you on your mat. So we're going to begin with a simple neck stretch as we begin to breathe and get grounded and feel connected to our bodies. So inhale, bring the arms up overhead to touch. Exhale, the right arm comes down to the mat, left arm comes to the side of the face, and gently pull your head over towards your shoulder. Beginning to breathe, long, deep inhales through the nose and out through the nose. As we stretch the side of the neck here, tenting the fingertips to feel that long extension down the arm. And then slowly release the hands, start to look down towards the armpit and grab at the bottom of the skull, pulling the head down on the diagonal, feeling a really nice stretch along the back side of the neck. Begin to connect to your breath here. Let go of whatever happened or didn't happen during your day thus far. And just come to center. And release the hand, roll the neck back, and then slowly up. Let's do the other side. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, left hand comes down, right hand to the side of the face, and then slowly push the head towards the right. Now you can put as little or as much pressure as you like, just to really feel that nice stretch on the neck. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall, belly's tucked in. And then turning the face down, grabbing at the back of the skull, and stretching out that diagonal on the other side. Feeling the sensation of the breath start to move in through the nostrils, coming down the throat, into the lungs and the belly. And then release the hand, slowly looking down, come back up. Now let's inhale the arms out in front of us, bend the elbows, bring your hands to the shoulders, and start to make big round circles with the elbows, starting to open up the shoulders here. Now for eagle pose, one of the big benefits is shoulder opening and stretching. So this is a nice little shoulder warm up to get us prepared for eagle pose. And let's reverse direction, this time squeezing the shoulder blades back together behind you. As they come around, big circles here. And then slowly release. Now let's make our way to standing, and I'll break down eagle posture. All right, so let's bring the feet together. Feel nice and grounded. And inhale, bring the arms out to the side, and with a swoop-like motion, start to shift the right elbow underneath the left, hooking at the elbows and trying to wrap the wrists. Now it's a little difficult to get that bind, so I like to really use that momentum, bringing the arms out to the side and then swooping it under like that. So we have the left elbow tucked inside of the right, and really try to squeeze the elbows together, restricting the blood flow there. And if you can't wrap around the wrists, that's totally fine. You can leave them as is. Maybe interlace the fingers. You can try to get them a little more aligned, but that'll come over time. And now sucking the belly in, start to sit nice and low. Shift the weight into the left foot and start to lift the right leg off the mat. Bringing it high, engaging the core to lift. Start to wrap your right leg around the left, seeing if you could hook the foot around the left ankle. Now pick a drishti, a focal point to focus on, and just send all your attention there. Now, if you can't fully hook that bottom foot, that's all right. Maybe just bring it to the side and dig the knife edge, the pinky side of your foot, into the left calf. Over time, you'll get the wrap, And the lower you sit, the easier it should be to wrap the right leg over the left. So sit nice and deep here. This is a balancing posture, so definitely working on your balance. If you fall out of it, just get right back in. And as the legs are crossed here, really also focus on squeezing those thighs together. So we're restricting the blood flow here, creating that tension so that when we release this posture, fresh blood can flood the area, relieving a lot of these symptoms. We feel tightness in the joints and stiffness. Now slowly come out of it when you're ready, and we'll do the other side. So as I mentioned earlier, this posture works all the major joints of the body, and it maximizes those benefits if you really squeeze everything tightly together. So bending nice and low, squeezing the thighs together, squeezing those elbows together, that's what's gonna give you the maximum benefit. So let's do the other side. Inhale the arms out to the side. Exhale, this time left arm swoops under the right, grabbing for the hands, maybe readjusting a little here. And already, just with the arms in this eagle posture, you'll start to feel the shoulder blades spreading apart. So as you press the elbows down towards the belly, you should feel an opening up of the shoulder blades behind you. We'll work on another variation in a moment. So sitting nice and low, like I said, the lower you sit, the easier it should be to wrap the legs. Start to shift the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg high and wrap it around. So as we sit lower, the chest is still lifted here. Squeezing everything into the midline, trying to get the elbows to align with the knees. So we're sitting into this nice little ball, really contracting everything, squeezing the arms, squeezing the legs, and this is eagle pose. Now in some variations, we try to get the fingertips below the nose by really pressing those elbows down towards the thighs. So you'll feel that in your shoulders. But then another variation is to lift the elbows away from the thighs, sending the fingertips towards the sky, and you'll feel a slightly different stretch in the shoulders. And then let's slowly come out of it. Both are really good options. I like to do both when I practice eagle, just to feel a variation in the shoulders. You should feel nice and open now. And let's just take a little counter stretch to that by spreading the legs wide. Pigeon toe the feet so that the toes are facing slightly in, heels slightly out. Let's interlace the fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest to the sky. And then exhale, come forward. Wide-legged forward fold with interlaced hands. So really squeezing those shoulder blades together. Allow your neck to relax, maybe shake it left and right. And just counterbalancing that intense shoulder opening that we did by squeezing the shoulders together here. Coming back to your breath. Let's release the hands down to the mat and then slowly round up all the way to stand. All right, well that was a breakdown of eagle pose. Now let's incorporate that into a flow. So I'll meet you at the top of your mat. So standing nice and tall, Tadasana. Let's do a little vinyasa warm-up, recapturing what we did in our previous days. I'll guide you through it. So standing up nice and tall, grounded through the feet. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead, growing nice and tall here. Exhale, hinge at the hips, send the weight forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, rising up to the fingertips, extending out through the low back here. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, plank position, and we'll move through our vinyasa. So shifting the weight forward, tucking the elbows in, lower, halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, come up, upward facing dog. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. And just come back to the breath here. Pushing into the palms to send those hips high, spreading the fingertips wide, rotating the arms outward. Nice deep breaths. On an inhale, lift the left leg high, send it all the way through, in between the hands, Ground down through that back heel and inhale up to warrior one, which we worked out on day 3 of our challenge. So now is a great opportunity to practice our eagle arms. So on an exhale, we'll swoop the right arm underneath the left, really squeezing those elbows together as we stay in warrior one with the legs. So start to feel those shoulders opening, thinking about the joints and the arms working here. Lift the chest high, lift those elbows away from the mat, and then exhale, come to bow inside that left leg for humble warrior with eagle arms. Nice deep breaths. Inhale, slowly rise back up. And then coming back to center, pick a drishti, a focal point in front of you. Start to shift the weight forward, lift the right leg up and wrap it around for eagle. So squeezing the belly, sit nice and low here. Start to lift the elbows away from the thighs. Eagle pose. Really squeezing those thighs together, restricting that blood flow. And then slowly unwind, release, send that leg back, release the arms, inhale up, high crescent lunge, letting that blood flow freely, working out the circulation. And then exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, and we'll move through your vinyasa. So lowering slowly on the exhale. Inhale, push up, upward facing dog. And exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Great job, guys. That was not an easy sequence. So I encourage you to practice it over and over until you get the balance, until you get the crossing of the arms and the legs. All right, let's try the other side. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, send it all the way through. Ground down through that back heel and windmill the arms up, warrior one. Now just to recap a little warrior one posturing, we want to rotate our shoulders and chest to the front of the mat and really ground down through that back heel and the knife edge of the left foot. On your exhale, swoop the arms, left elbow goes underneath the right this time. And so really squeezing those elbows together here. Inhale, lift high, and then exhale, coming inside the right leg, humble warrior. Now keep a nice deep lunge here if you can, as we're getting a really big hip opening stretch, feeling the quadriceps working. And then slowly come back up. And then shifting the weight forward, pick a focal point, slowly pop the left foot up, cross it over the right, and then sit back down for eagle. Sitting nice and low, keeping the chest lifted, belly tucked in. Start to lift the arms up towards the sky. Getting nice and tight, like a little ball here. And then slowly release. Send the left leg back behind you, release the arms, high crescent lunge. And then windmill the hands down, frame the foot, step it back, and move through a vinyasa of your choice. Big deep inhales on the way up. And nice deep exhales on the way back to down dog. Coming back to your center. On your next inhale, let's wave through the back, coming into plank pose. And then tucking the elbows in, shifting the shoulders back and the weight forward. Let's slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Now place your left cheek on the mat and just allow yourself to relax for a moment while I talk. So a lot of us have a lot of chronic neck and shoulder pain from slouching forward, whether we're at our computer or on our phones, or just whatever we do and we're sitting and not paying attention to our posture. And so in working on poses like eagle pose and the ones we're about to do here, it's really important to practice rounding the shoulders back and reversing some of those damaging effects. So when you're ready, let's look down towards the mat. interlace your fingers behind you and start to squeeze the shoulder blades together first, lifting the shoulders away from the mat and squeezing those shoulder blades like you're pinching a quarter in between them and you don't want that to drop. So press the tops of the feet into the mat, squeeze those shoulders, and on an inhale, start to lift the upper body off the mat. This is half locust pose. So we're continually squeezing those shoulders, lifting the chest, press the belly and the pubic bone into the mat, lifting nice and high here, squeeze, 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 and then slowly release. Come back to the mat, rest your face down, and just relax. So in strengthening the back muscles as well, it'll help us stay lifted, improving our posture over time as we age, and just keeping a nice, healthy spine. All right, coming back to the center, let's do it again. This time we're gonna do full locust pose. So interlace those fingers, squeeze the palms. So notice if the palms have a gap in them, try to get that gap eliminated by squeezing the palms together and lifting the shoulders. Round the shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And this time, as we inhale, lift the legs off the mat and come all the way up, big back bend here. Everything should be lifting off the mat except for the low belly. Like a bird taking off, soaring through the sky. Really engaging the legs, the quad muscles, the ankles. Energy shooting out those toes. One last breath here. And then slowly release down. This time, place the right cheek on the mat and just allow yourself to relax. Coming back to your breath. In through the nose and out through the nose, relaxing the nervous system, calming the heart rate. Now let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders and just push back, child's pose. Keeping the knees together here, really allow for a nice low back stretch. A good counter pose for those back bends that we just did. And if you'd like, you can walk the fingertips far away from you, still getting a nice shoulder stretch here in child's pose. And then when you're ready, let's make our way back to the top of the mat and just turn over and we'll come into bridge pose. And just sitting up for a moment on the sits bones, slowly roll down and then inch the heels up towards your glutes, maybe gracing the fingertips. Now we're returning to bridge pose, a posture that we worked on a few days ago that is an essential yoga posture, really great for reducing anxiety and depression and just continuing to stretch out the shoulders. So pressing the feet and hands into the mat on an inhale, start to lift the hips up nice and high towards the sky, shifting the weight onto the shoulders. Imagine you're holding a block in between your knees, so start to squeeze that block and engage the inner thighs. Now lifting up as high as you can, maybe you take the hands underneath you and interlace the fingers, really squeezing those shoulder blades together again and coming up a little bit higher on the shoulders. That's just an option. If that's awkward or unavailable to you, you can just keep the hands back down on the mat. Nice deep breaths here. Pressing those pinkies into the mat as you lift the hips even higher, as high as you can here. Now if the fingers are interlaced, release them and slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time, massaging your spine as you lower and then dropping the hips all the way down to the mat. Now let's give ourselves a little squeeze in. Press those knees in towards the chest. Maybe roll the hips out a little bit. And then releasing the feet back down, let's just end with a final shoulder stretch. So inhale both arms up towards the sky, and then allow the right arm to cross over the body, left hand hooks under, and then just use the pressure of the left hand to push the right hand down towards the mat, really stretching out that right shoulder. Nice relaxed breaths here as you stretch a little bit deeper. And then slowly release, shake it out. We'll do the other side. So inhale, arms up. This time the left hand crosses over the body, right arm scoops under, crossing at the elbows like we did an eagle, but just using this as a nice restorative stretch to stretch out that left shoulder. Send your breath to any areas of tightness. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself for working hard today, maybe trying something new if you've never tried eagle pose before. It's not an easy posture, so give yourself a pat on the back. I'm proud of you and happy that you're still here with me. And then slowly release the arms, shake it out, come back down, and let's rest the legs for Shavasana, final resting pose. Take a few deep breaths in and out through the nose as you allow the body to relax. And again, as I mentioned earlier, in eagle posture, we're restricting that blood flow. So we're tightening, constricting the blood vessels, and creating almost like a pinching or cramping sensation so that when we release, all that fresh blood can flood the area and repair any damaged cells and just renew your vitality. So in this final resting posture, we're now really allowing that blood flow to circulate evenly throughout the whole body. So it's really important, even if you can only hang out here for 30 seconds or a minute, just give yourself that time to integrate all the work that we just did. And then when you're ready, let's bring the knees in towards the chest. Rock and roll a little bit along the spine to sit up to a nice, comfortable seat to finish. Congratulations, you just made it through day 6 of our 30-day challenge. Tomorrow, we are going to work on improving our digestion through yoga. So we're going to work on a lot of twists, really helping detox and get rid of some of that belly fat, and just improving our overall digestive function, helping with bloating, and just whatever symptoms you might be feeling in there. It's really important to have some good digestive health. It's even good for your mood and happiness. So we're gonna work on that tomorrow. I hope you join me. And if you liked this video, please subscribe to the Psychetruth channel. And I'd love to hear your comments and feedback below. If you'd like to see this full 30-day challenge in its entirety, please visit Psychetruth Plus. I will see you tomorrow on your mat. Namaste.
With hundreds of videos that you can stream on virtually any device to help you reduce stress, lose weight, or just improve your health and well-being overall. At wellnessplus.tv, we are dedicated to helping you on your health and wellness journey. Join wellnessplus.tv to find hundreds of videos to help you improve the health of your body and your mind. wellnessplus.tv. Get well, feel better.